West Virginia chapter of the American Institute of Architects presents 20 by 20, Architecture of West Virginia. This online event is part of Virtual Festival, where architects from around the state present a fast-paced look at architecture in West Virginia. In this pecha style, Japanese for chit-chat, which is a storytelling format, the presenter will show 20 slides of a single project, with 20 seconds of commentary for each slide. Join us for an hour of educational fun as we look at interesting buildings in West Virginia, designed and narrated by the architects who designed them. Corporate sponsorships are a critical element of this event and our organization. Thanks to important sponsors like you, we can continue to provide the valuable services our organization provides and gives us all an opportunity to celebrate the built environment of West Virginia. Our title sponsor is ZMM Architects and Engineers. ZMM is an integrated, award-winning design firm headquartered in Charleston, providing professional services throughout West Virginia and Virginia. You see us in your community every day. The festival sponsor is Rulon International. When building out a new space, big or small, it can be hard to attain your vision within your budget. Rulon has been offering innovative custom wood ceilings and wall systems to help professionals achieve their vision for nearly 40 years to wow clients with an award-winning design. The AIA West Virginia sponsor is Hartman, Harmon & Costco. H2C is a bipartisan government relations and strategic consulting firm in Charleston, West Virginia. With more than a century's worth of combined experience in government relations, strategy, communications, H2C helps our clients navigate the crossroads of business, politics, government, and public opinion.
Mills Group is a team of 17 creative professionals in Morgantown and Wheeling, West Virginia. Founded in 2005 by Michael Mills, we are proud to be celebrating our 15-year anniversary in 2020 and are excited to share this special project with you today. Few projects have challenged our firm's mantra, designing on the principles of the past and preserving for the future, as did this unique property. Originally constructed in 1919 in Kessel, St. Mary's Church served as the center of the Catholic community in West Virginia's South Branch Valley for much of the 20th century. By 1971, a growing congregation in nearby Petersburg prompted church leaders to form a plan to relocate the existing building closer to town. After being dismantled and reconstructed in its new location in the summer of 1971, a new entry vestibule was added to the church, and several interior alterations were undertaken. In the fall of 2017, nearly 50 years after its relocation, the church once again found itself in need of additional capacity. Together with the St. Mary's Building Committee, Diocese of Wheeling-Charleston, and EB Builders, Mills Group conceptualized the design of an addition that would avoid negatively impacting the historic character of the church. Connected to the original building with a light-filled glass vestibule, the addition also allowed for the relocation of the main entry. The relocation of the entry allows for both improved accessibility from a new parking lot and for the removal of the 1971 narthex addition, returning the facade of the church to its original appearance. A large, empty lot adjacent to the existing building provided ample land for the new addition, along with a new parking lot and circle drive. Site work design drew inspiration from the half-round arched windows in the original church. The street-facing elevation of the new addition is anchored with 3 custom windows that serve as a modern interpretation of the fenestration and proportions of the original church facade. Composite wood-look clapboard siding and traditional standing seam metal roofing served to visually unite the addition and glass connector with the historic church. Building upon our experience working with a variety of existing buildings throughout the region, Mills Group began this project with a deep dive into the history of the property. Using photographs and records collected from church members and state and university archives, our team began to identify historic features that should be incorporated into the new design. Historically rich in timber, the economy of the South Branch Valley developed into the 20th century, partially due to nationwide industrialization that led to an increased demand for railroad ties and dimensional lumber. The new main entry and narthex beyond celebrate this aspect of the region's history with the introduction of rough-hewn beams. A horizontal member fashioned into a half-round arch spans these beams and is mirrored in the arch transom over the new entry doors. Just beyond the new main entry doors, a vaulted narthex includes a kitchenette, sacristy, and 2 accessible restrooms. A new audio-video system now allows patrons to participate in Mass live from this space, which also serves as a cry room for families with young children. As the design process continued, church members identified additional needs for kitchen programming that would allow the church to host small gatherings. The new kitchenette incorporates much-needed storage as well as basic elements that make the space functional for a variety of events. While returning the original church facade to its historic appearance was a priority, so was the improvement of the thermal performance and energy efficiency of the building. Wall and ceiling surfaces from the 1971 renovation were removed for the application of new insulation throughout. The renovation of the original building presented an opportunity for the expansion of the altar area and creation of a new tabernacle, allowing for additional seating in the sanctuary. A new sacristy with a secondary exterior access door is situated adjacent to the altar. The interior of the original church is now outfitted with all new drywall, millwork, flooring, and lighting. Mills Group assisted the building committee in selecting new furnishings and altar appointments that are in keeping with the building's historic character. An existing balcony at the rear of the church was undersized and accessed from a narrow set of winding stairs. The renovated church building includes a redesigned balcony, stairs, and balustrade, along with a dedicated space for the baptismal font. New LED light fixtures and beadboard ceilings throughout help to create a cohesion between the historic and new portions of the church. Throughout the process, church members remained dedicated to the preservation of the heritage of St. Mary's. Historic wood clapboard siding removed during construction was repurposed for a heritage wall celebrating the history of the church. Other lumber salvaged from the renovation was crafted into a coat rack serving the narthex. Mills Group is humbled to have been recognized for our role in this special project, which could not have been achieved without the support and collaboration of Bishop Mark Brennan and John Reardon with the Diocese of Wheeling-Charleston, Father Joshua Stevens and Kent Hudgens with St. Mary's Church, and Laurel Eby and his talented team at Eby Builders. Over the past 15 years, Mills Group has been fortunate to serve as a trusted leader in historic preservation and existing building design in the Mountain State. We are passionate about interpreting and celebrating history through the rehabilitation and reuse of structures such as St. Mary's Church, and look forward to continuing this work for years to come.
Successful design and construction projects require teamwork and collaboration. The Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center expansion and renovation was delivered in a unique way through a design-build competition. Key team members included BBL Carlton, ZMM Architects and Engineers, TVS Design, GAI, and criteria developer Odell. My name is Adam Crayson, and I am an architect and principal at ZMM Architects and Engineers. ZMM is a Charleston-based, fully integrated architecture and engineering firm. We were founded in 1959 in the historic Elk City neighborhood on Charleston's west side, just across the Elk River from the project site. The existing building, known as the Charleston Civic Center, had become an eyesore for the city. The original Civic Center opened in January 1959 at the cost of $2.5 million. It consisted of a 6,000-seat arena and a little theater. The most significant renovation and expansion, a 13,000-seat Coliseum, was completed in 1980. The design was inspired by the story of West Virginia. The Kanawha River is the social organizing link throughout the region, with settlement zones developing on whatever flat land the river provided, creating nodes of activities among the hills and valleys. The Convention Center also has distinct active nodes to celebrate each activity. The design process for the Convention Center unfolded quickly. We had only 3 months, which included 2 meetings with the owner to plan, develop, design, and price the additions and renovations. Our team built on the strong, authentic character of Charleston to remake the Civic Center into a more sustainable, dynamic, and iconic best-in-class destination. The interior design is also reflective of our city and state. Defined by a rugged landscape, the early history of the state was dominated by extractive industries: salt, coal, timber, and trapping. This set the local character, which we used to help inspire the interior design. City officials broke ground for the first phase of the improvements in June of 2015. City Manager David Mulgar led the city's effort, while John Robertson, Jim Smith, and Joe Varney from the Convention Center worked with BBL to ensure the building remained operational throughout the 3-year construction process. The improvements to the Convention Center occurred in multiple phases. At first, a new central plant and temporary kitchen were constructed. The Clendenin Street entry took shape next, followed by the back-of-house meeting rooms, pre-function space, and ballroom. The new Corridor Street entrance was the final element completed. Even 3 days of Garth Brooks concerts did not slow down progress. More than $25 million of the improvements to the Convention Center were dedicated to replacing antiquated mechanical and electrical systems. And the first phase of the project included constructing a new central plant that houses this equipment. The reductions in energy consumption and costs are one of the major reasons the building achieved the LEED Silver designation. One critical design objective was to create separate entries and identities for the arena and convention center. This allowed for simultaneous events and clarity of use. It was during the design of the Clendenin Street entry that councilperson Mary Jean Davis set the city's expectations. The final building would look exactly like the original renderings. The interior of the Clendenin Street entrance contains the ticket lobby, the main circulation path to the arena, and a large gathering space that overlooks the town center mall. This entry is one of the distinct active nodes developed to celebrate each activity, in this case the arena. The other nodes represent convention and banquet. The active nodes that were mentioned on the last slide are connected like towns in West Virginia, and the spaces that connect these nodes are inspired by the hills and cut rock faces that connect the towns along the Kanawha River. These cut rock faces are represented on the exterior by the three-dimensional multicolored metal panels which continue through the building interior. The second node, often called the Corridor Street entry, celebrates convention and serves as the main entrance to the convention center. This entrance was not part of the original program, but was added to replace a dated sawtooth precast walkway that previously occupied the space. The second level of the interior of the Corridor Street entry provides a bridge to the arena and a restaurant bar area that links the arena and convention functions. The stairs and escalators were relocated to improve circulation and to create more usable space for exhibits and events. The redesign of the Corridor Street entry focused on improving the quality of the space, improving circulation, and improving the connection between the exhibit halls on the first level with the meeting rooms on the upper level. This node truly serves as a unifying element of the convention center, connecting exhibit, convention, and arena functions. Jeff Pearson, Charleston's Director of Public Art, has stated that his vision is that people can come to the center to see concerts, to go to conventions, but also to see art. This piece was created by Lyle London, a sculpted metal artist based in Scottsdale, Arizona. The building was designed to support the glass sculpture that weighs an estimated 4,000 pounds. While the Civic Center turned its back on the Elk River, one of the goals of the project was to make sure that the expanded facility addressed the river. This was accomplished by orienting the pre-function space that complements a large ballroom along the banks of the Elk River. The exterior part and boat dock will be connected by a pedestrian trail to Haddad Riverfront Park. The pre-function spaces that serve the ballroom addition create the illusion that you are standing over the river. This portion of the facility is visible from the nearby interstate, creating a welcoming view into the city of Charleston. While the glass was intended to offer views of the river, when the space is utilized at night, the glass offers expansive views into the building. Aerial views of the addition highlight unique exterior LED lighting that was used to activate the arena. This view also shows how the project is an integral part of the city. While the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center has a clear economic benefit for the community, it also improves the quality of life for our neighbors. Shortly after the project was completed, it was recognized with 3 design awards by the West Virginia chapter of the American Institute of Architects, including the inaugural People's Choice Award. CMM is grateful for the opportunity to help lead the team that completed a transformational project for both the City of Charleston and West Virginia.
Hey, I'm Jody Driggs with Ceiling Architects, and this is our pecha presentation for an awesome new project in beautiful West Virginia. We wanted to talk less about a completed building and instead talk more about a critical process of design, how in our practice we try to discover how identity and the spirit of place can inform architectural character. This is our design process for a Young Life camp. It's called Wild Ridge. Through a collaborative charrette process with the owner, we were truly inspired by a group of Young Life leaders. We heard overarching opinions and ideas concerning an appropriate design direction for the camp that were both broad and diverse. These ideas would come together to yield a provocative design concept that was rooted in the identity of this excellent place. From a design charrette, we heard a common appreciation and shared understanding of the beautiful culture of West Virginia. There was a feeling that the language of the design should reflect the cultural traits of honest simplicity, genuineness, transparency, craftsmanship, and intimate community, terms that represent the best of West Virginia as a place and its people. The project site is located on a heavily forested ridgetop overlooking the Gauley River. We heard a keen awareness of the wildness of the property that was connected to the experiences of thrilling adventure within this dramatic natural setting. We heard that compelling identities are found through powerful, legible connections to profound landscapes. A material and texture palette inspired by the vernacular materials in the region was very well received. Notions of natural, locally found and sourced materials, allowed to intentionally weather and grow in character with age, further connects the architectural narrative of this project with the spirit of place. We heard an agreement that a more current vocabulary of design can speak to an exciting, relevant identity and hopeful future for this place and the people it reaches. This expression aligns with Young Life's mission of forward motion and innovation, and the design character can reinforce a unique identity for the Wild Ridge Camp. The first of 3 buildings we wanted to present is the Camper Dorm. Young Life prototype dorms historically place a gathering space facing the camp center. In order to capture the most iconic view of the landscape from our ridgeline site, the Wild Ridge design locates the entry at the rear of the building. Inspired by local geology, the plan introduces a tectonic shift in its organization. The exterior character recalls the surrounding vernacular architecture of the greater Gauley River region through its use of sloping roof forms and natural materials, yet also contrasts that vernacular through the unexpected use of simple, minimalistic detailing, modern materials, and shifting form. Heavy timber, corten, and hemlock siding define the exterior character. An elevated front covered porch and protruding heavy timber portal signifies entry into the building. The framed view of the trees and the planned lake beyond, as well as the rhythm of vertical wood members, leads the campers from the perceived front of the building to the entry at the rear of the site. The celebrated entry procession culminates at an exterior porch and interior glazed gathering space overlooking the surrounding landscape. The building straddles the steep slope of the ridgeline to create a building that minimizes its visual impact from the camp center, yet still allows elevated, dramatic views of the landscape at the rear. The second project is a new dining hall facility at Wild Ridge. The building is sized to accommodate 600 diners and includes a stage, kitchen, separate staff dining areas, and perimeter-covered porches that serve as exterior gathering spaces. The public restroom pavilion is pulled away to serve the dining area itself, as well as the greater camp center. In developing a thematic narrative for the building's architectural character, we were inspired by the history of the Gauley River as once serving the logging industry. The simplicity, openness, materiality, and detailing of historical logging industry imagery served as inspiration for the formation of this new architectural concept. A desire for the building to sit lightly on the land defines the exterior design. This is achieved by elevating the building slightly with a covered porch. A heavy timber structure with expressed steel connections and steel tie rod bracing reinterprets the traditional wood truss and served as an iconic feature of the building's architectural character. A vertical tower serves as an essential counterpoint to the low, horizontal form of the main building mass and provides its users an opportunity to be positioned above the tree canopy and affords broader views of the surrounding landscape. Its formal and material expression is inspired by the old wigwam burners of the logging industry. The final building is a new sports hall. The plan is organized around a large open served space for sports activities with clear views of the landscape and a contrastingly more enclosed space for supporting service programs. Perimeter decks and porches blend the boundary between interior and exterior and provide opportunities to openly engage in the landscape. The sports hall is in keeping with the project narrative of designing a place rooted in the culture and visual aesthetic of West Virginia and the Golly's industrial past. The form and materiality of the log rolling tool, as well as the iconography of the mail pouch barn and barn quilts, served as thematic elements to inform the project's character. The dramatic angular form of the building and celebrated heavy timber structure define the exterior character. As an abstraction of the quilt squares and mail pouch iconography found on many rural barns in West Virginia, painted geometric wayfinding graphics, black painted wood, shed roof forms, and narrative billboards signify entry. We heard a strong desire for openness to the outside, both visually and physically, so a series of exterior decks and operable walls are used to blur the boundary between inside and out. The front porch serves an opportunity for other campers to engage in the activities of the sports hall without needing to enter within. A requirement for a large interior volume to accommodate indoor sports activities contributed to the dramatic angular form of the exterior. Differing glazing systems, such as floor-to-ceiling curtain walls, pedestrian-scale storefronts, and roof skylights offer varying views and connections to the surrounding landscape throughout the building. We're excited for the direction of this new camp situated within the iconic landscape of the Golly River Gorge, inspired by and responsive to the spirit of place. We will continue to pursue an architectural character for this and for all of our projects that is critically informed by the unique nature of their sites, their place and time, and the people they serve.
Raleigh County Schools commissioned OWPR architects and engineers to design a new elementary school. This new school was a replacement for 3 smaller, outdated schools which were closed upon Ridgeview's completion. OWPR was assisted by the team listed at the right. Solar panels were incorporated into the building's design, partially offsetting the school's energy consumption. Future expansion of the solar system across the roof was planned for, which would allow Ridgeview to transition to a fully zero energy school. The Ridgeview campus covers 14 acres of land and allows for plentiful outdoor activities, incorporating a softball and soccer field and an outdoor walking trail and generous playgrounds. The school contains 24 classrooms shown in green, support spaces, and a suite for autism and special education. Through the use of L-shaped classrooms, teachers can zone their spaces to suit different activities, creating environments for different learning styles and collaborations. Blinko Glass of Milton created the beautiful hanging lighting pendants located in the tower of the school. The pendant was designed by OWPR and blown by Blinko Masters. The school features a healthy food service which incorporates no fried foods prepared in a modern kitchen and cafeteria. The cafeteria serves as a multi-purpose space and has a stage for school performances. The mural shown at the right was completed by the school's students. It is comprised of individual tiles. Each student was responsible for one tile, which was then incorporated into the whole to complete the mural. Ridgeview Elementary was designed to be zero energy ready. The design team utilized an exterior wall system of insulated concrete forms. This substantially increases the thermal mass and air tightness of the exterior, while providing an extremely quiet school. Geothermal HVAC systems and LED lighting were used across the entire project, further increasing efficiency. The school is equipped with a STEAM lab that houses the science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics classes. Here students can research and create across multiple disciplines. Additionally, an outdoor classroom is placed adjacent to the STEAM lab for outside learning experiences. A large interactive screen in the main hallway allows students to track the energy use of their school, which can be incorporated into the curriculum of the STEAM classes. To facilitate curiosity and learning, the exposed mechanical systems in the media and STEAM spaces have been vividly painted to distinguish each system from the other. Students can easily follow the pipes and ducts in these classrooms to see where they go and how they relate. Even the floors are specially treated in this school. To assist in a wayfinding, the school features a unique footstep pattern to lead students throughout the school. Ridgeview's gymnasium can accommodate 500 spectators for assemblies, sporting events, or performances. The stage can be open to the gym, cafeteria, or both, allowing for flexibility in scheduling and scale for different events. The stage area, which is located between the cafeteria and gym, also serves as the music area. The space can be sound isolated by a folding wall, which is shown to the left of the curtain. Colors and graphics are used extensively throughout the school. They provide both instruction and direction, as shown in the banner to the left and the footsteps to the right, respectively. The classrooms were designed to be L and T shaped to allow teachers the opportunity to zone their classrooms for different uses. Areas can be designated for calming, collaboration area, and group instruction activities. The non-rectilinear classrooms were carefully designed to allow teachers full visibility of the entire room. All classrooms feature a soft-touch vinyl floor system that is easy to clean and maintain. Each classroom features a large window to take advantage of the beautiful mountain views and also to have fully dimmable LED lighting that allows the teachers to lower the light level to calm the space or to raise the light level to energize the space. Ridgeview, as the name implies, is located on the top of a hill with both extensive views and a southern exposure. The site features large flat areas for walking trails and playfields. An amphitheater space doubles as an outdoor classroom. Playfields include both soft, mulched, and hard surface, paved play areas. Also included are physical education fields for both soccer and softball. Other exploration areas include planting beds, an orchard, and hardwood tree examples. Ridgeview features expansive window glazing. The school was also designed to bring natural light into interior spaces like corridors, reducing the need for artificial light. At present, Ridgeview Elementary is the most energy efficient school in the state of West Virginia.
This incredible place, just along the edge of the south branch of the Potomac River and the Allegheny Mountains, we lovingly call Rocky Knob. Here, two couples set out together. One couple with plans to homestead and raise a family, and the other couple dreaming of a retreat from the city. Their friendship, forged during the 1960s, evolved across the next 40 years and now 3 generations. Many traditions emerged, none more meaningful than what took place in and around a small spring-fed pond at the base of the property. What set this pond apart was the ever-present sweat lodge, which evolved over time into a more permanent sauna, which stood on the same little spot until the last one burned down about 15 years ago. For those next 15 years, the site lay dormant, setting the stage for another generation to reimagine it. This time around, the project emerged as a research-driven design build involving students, professionals, and craftsmen. A literal representation of our firm's ethos, this sauna became an experiment in the importance of learning by doing. A deep understanding of the spirit of a given project is a critical aspect of our work. This understanding should underlie all aspects of the project, including the client, topography, climate, program, and local culture. For this project, the team researched sauna traditions throughout the world with the intention of creating something which fit meaningfully within that legacy. Another critical aspect of that understanding is reflected in our attempt to abstractly reference local building traditions. We envisioned the sauna as a reflection of vernacular farm buildings. What stirred our imagination is a sense that these buildings have always been there, eroding, warping, seeming to collapse in slow motion across generations. The sauna's site was never in question. We placed it right where it's always been, situated along the pond on a relatively level and accessible edge. This time, however, the design responds directly to its surroundings, including the pond, roads, considering privacy, and adjacent structures, including the cabin. Throughout the process, we obsess over minute details, believing success is rooted in our ability to resolve seemingly mundane programmatic requirements while infusing the project with spirit. Examples of our obsession can be found in the way seat walls are bent to an ergonomically ideal 15 degrees, and steel elements are etched with the iconic West Virginia quilt pattern. Leading up to and during the team's 10-day sojourn to construct the sauna, a primary challenge was remoteness. The logistical complexities included getting materials, tools, and supplies to the property. Without access to heavy machinery, nearly every aspect of the work was completed manually or with small transportable power tools. Once on site, the team went to work, pouring 10,000 pounds of board form concrete, turning that formwork into rough carpentry, becoming apprentice welders as we assembled tubular steel frame, hand cranking 2,500 pounds of plate steel up a temporary ramp, installing the etched steel components, and hand torching reclaimed oak as the exterior siding. Perhaps one of our most treasured work products beyond the sauna itself is a nearly continuous time-lapse record of our efforts. This particular clip represents the climax of lifting a series of 6 quarter-inch steel roof panels into place, the heaviest being almost 1,000 pounds. In the end, our aspiration was to design and build something inevitable, something timeless, as if it had been there long before we showed up, eroding, warping, collapsing, and at the same time for it to somehow feel wholly new and forward-looking, foretelling its use by future generations of these two ever-growing and expanding families. One significant design element with considerable personal importance is the integration of the Scottish rampant line, which is tied directly to the heritage of one of the two families in particular. It reflects a rich cultural history passed down through the generations, making its way here as a permanent sigil. Reclaimed from the previously renovated cabin, the exterior siding as well as the interior paneling and benches are rough-cut oak. This wood came from the property and will remain there for future generations to enjoy. Here you can see the 15-degree angle utilized to encourage reclining, and below you can just make out the board-formed concrete. As striking as the exterior may be, the payoff comes upon experiencing the interior space. Unexpectedly, a dramatic view across the pond makes this sauna less internally focused than its more traditional predecessors. This sauna is more about creating an intimate experience charged by the beauty of the place. The Stoves by M.F. Fire. Rocky Knob Sauna was a labor of love. In so many ways, it reflects who we are. As a firm, we are propelled by the relentless pursuit of beauty in all of its forms. In this case, we appear to have at least approached that lofty aspiration. The project has won multiple design awards, including from the West Virginia chapter of the American Institute of Architects. One juror called the sauna a beautiful artifact that advanced the architectural conversation. We're extremely proud of the recognition, but we're even more proud of what the journey meant to us, what it means to us now, and what it will mean as we move into the future. Rocky Knob Sauna is the latest in a line of our firm's West Virginia projects, where we've been working continuously for over 10 years. These range from site-specific houses to a series of projects at the Wardensville Garden Market. We are deeply rooted in West Virginia and know these country roads will be part of our practice for as long as grit exists.
Vacant for 10 years, the state office building in downtown Clarksburg, a former hotel, was deemed unsuitable for renovation. Alpha Associates Incorporated of Morgantown, West Virginia, was responsible for programming, design, and construction documents for civil, structural, architectural, and interior design of a replacement building. Alpha Associates Incorporated also designed the demolition plans of the existing building, which included the recycling and/or salvage of many of the building elements. While asbestos-laden tile and ceilings from the early 1970s was safely removed, plans for the new structure continued. The demolition contractor, Reclaim Company, a West Virginia firm, recycled nearly 95% of all debris from the demolition of the building. The concrete and brick was pulverized on site to develop a clean fill for the remaining basement and sub-basement foundations. The site, shown in the before image, is bounded by West Main Street and is adjacent to an historic church. The new building was sited to take advantage of the slope, seen in the after image. The differential in grade allowed two at-grade entrances opposite each other, separated by a vertical height of 12 feet. The surrounding neighborhood, with its close proximity to downtown and nearly century-old stately structures, would give context to the new structure and influenced the choice of materials for the building envelope. Red-fired brick with limestone and sandstone would allow the new building to appear timeless and in context with the neighborhood. Initial sketches and final renderings, seen here with the corner of the historic church, shows the sense of place that was to be created with the design of the new building. The west elevation of the building incorporates a classically designed five-part facade. The central entrance is distinguished by its added height and dominant window and projecting canopy. The two recessed portions provide aesthetic relief to a long facade and provide for a fresh air intake for basement mechanical equipment. 6 state agencies were designated to occupy the building. 2 agencies with a high public-facing profile were located strategically on the main entry floor. The Department of Motor Vehicles, to the left of the centrally located entrance, is shown here. To the right of the entrance is Workforce West Virginia, the job creation agency. The design of these 2 agencies incorporate all-glass storefronts for their public image. Each entity has a waiting area adjacent to the lobby with terrazzo flooring, cove-lid ceilings, polished granite clad walls for durability. Directly opposite the main entrance and through the elevator lobby, the building opens up to a 2-story space that features a monumental staircase to the lower level and east-facing entrance. The east-facing entrance echoes the central arch on the west side and provides some cover from inclement weather at the lower level entrance. The arch is of anodized brushed aluminum and encircles the arched curtain wall. Once inside the lower level entrance, one can either continue around the stairs to the elevator lobby and public conference rooms on the lower level, or ascend the staircase to the upper level lobby. Terrazzo steps and bronze and nickel handrails that will never need polish or painting complete the monumental stairway. The main lobby is accessible from the east and west entrances. Decorative column surrounds of anodized aluminum with bronze rings are utilized as part of the storefront motifs of the two agencies located at this level. The carpet is bordered by the time-honored terrazzo flooring. Inside the DMV, comfort for the customer and staff efficiency is enhanced through the choice of materials. Hard walking surfaces were designated as high traffic areas, softened by a rubber flooring for acoustical properties. Hard surfaces of the teller counter were faced with porcelain tile for maintenance and long-term durability. Upper level floors are divided east and west with a central corridor leading to remote exit stairs with a centrally located elevator lobby. Interior surfaces are designed for maximum durability and acoustical privacy for the state agency offices sharing the common areas. The lowest level corridor continues the terrazzo motif developed on the upper level entrance, with structural support columns being wrapped in the anodized aluminum with a modified ring capital echoing the column wraps on the upper levels. This rolling file system was incorporated into an upper floor for Department of Health and Human Resources. This created some unique solutions for the steel frame building system designed by Alpha's in-house structural engineers. The auxiliary conference room, located on the top level, was separated from the elevator lobby by demountable glass and acoustical panel wall system. Structural columns within the main room were again wrapped in the anodized aluminum with black rings serving as a column cap. Landmark signage is placed near the upper parking lot entrance just off of West Main Street. The building level below the belt course of precast concrete is clad in structural clay tile that mimics sandstone. The ashlar pattern of the structural clay tile provides a base for the rest of the building. The section above the belt course is red brick, chosen for its similarities in texture and color to the nearby church, and is accented by precast concrete coins to reflect buildings in the downtown district. The top of the building terminates in a molded aluminum cornice that references the classical influence in the building facade.
Welcome to Pickering Associates' transformation of the University of Charleston's old Eddie King Gym to the new Innovation Center. Built in 1947, the University of Charleston's Eddie King Gym was antiquated and one of the worst arenas in the West Virginia Conference. It was one of the oldest structures on campus, was not handicap accessible, and had no air conditioning. As coaches brought potential student athletes to tour campus, many were let down by the conditions of the facilities in which they would train and compete. In the tough, competitive world, it was essential for UC to have the best facilities possible to recruit and educate the finest students, as well as transform the campus for all users. University President Ed Welch had a vision of a learning center that would be more than a state-of-the-art building for its student athletes. The facility would foster innovation and entrepreneurial thinking on campus. It would push students from excelling in education to becoming true innovators. He envisioned a facility where students from a variety of backgrounds and experiences could come together to exchange ideas and visions, as well as a major focal point for the campus. Our architects got to work bringing Dr. Welch's vision to life, providing students and faculty with an inspiration area, reflection area, creation area, and learning area, all which provide complete space flexibility, technology integration, and a large atrium designed to welcome students and visitors alike. The final design featured over 70,000 square feet of space on the University of Charleston's campus and married the old facility with the new addition, while remaining true to its heritage and blending within the fabric of the campus. The spaces were designed with a completely open concept, leaving exposed structures and support systems visible within the space, all while still providing innovative layouts using flexible designs. allowing rooms to function as smaller pods or a large instructional area. The original gym also posed many challenges to the design and construction teams in order to bring the 70-year-old building up to date while incorporating it into a modern complex to be used for many years to come. Completed in December 2016, the new gym now features all new bleachers, state-of-the-art technology integration, and new sports equipment. Major changes include rotating the orientation of the main gym floor and bleachers from an east-west to north-south configuration. The supporting facilities, which include both team and visitor locker rooms, are completely renovated and updated as well. The final project even introduces an interior observation platform, which serves as a walking track during normal days. The main entry atrium showcases a ribbon wall of displays, large expanses of glass walls, a custom-designed 3-ring LED light fixture, a terrazzo floor design with the school's logo embedded, and creates a vibrant connection between the new and the old by pulling familiar elements from the existing campus, such as the original brick facade from the old gym. The Innovation Center keeps with the inspirational theme by offering open spaces, modular furniture, and is equipped with state-of-the-art systems, including 3D printers, large wall-mounted touchscreen computer systems, and a 3x3 display wall which can function as one large screen or 9 separate monitors, all while still offering a more traditional classroom setting as needed. In keeping with the focus of the building and the owner's vision, every part of the facility is equipped with leading-edge technology to enhance both the students' innovation and imagination while providing visitors with a stunning experience. In the end, the project truly captures the owner's focus to be a leader in innovation while remaining a great steward of the community and a resource for them.
An educational facility that is more than just a box with right angles and parallel walls. That was the owner's charge. They wanted something different from conventional, a unique building in a special place that allowed for contemplative thought and memorable interactions with peers and leaders. Create a place to learn to think outside the box. Not just a typical building with teaching spaces and sleeping units, but a retreat where people can participate in innovative mental exercises, debate ideas, and be inspired to change the world. The owner wanted a facility with spaces that would challenge the mind, a place where world-class corporate executives could confer, teach, and learn one week, and kids could meet for specialized programs the next. The building had to be comfortable, stimulating, and durable. As part of a large, high-adventure camping reserve, this building is situated on a remote wooded ridge that overlooks the development below. Miles away from noisy activities, the secluded environment is ideal for groups to meet, away from the stresses of work and the hustle of modern life. The long building deliberately obscures the valley view beyond as one approaches. The exterior is simple but smart. Clad in breathable rain-screened wall panels, cut stone accents, and exposed concrete, the building is capped by standing seam metal roofs with deep prow overhangs. With the drop-off area aligned on the axis of an outdoor garden, the main entry into the building creates a pinch point, compressing the visitor's perception before revealing the spectacular view beyond as one moves into the towering main lobby. In the main lobby, the diverging walls are accented with subtle sloping lines to create movement and foreshorten the space, challenging one's perspective, while dynamic circular LED lighting high above draws attention to the expanding volume. Mobile furniture provides flex space for small gatherings. With a stimulating busyness above the human scale, the lobby serves as the central hub of the building, with classroom blocks, public restrooms, dining and kitchen to the south, a two-story lodge wing to the north, and more teaching, entertainment, and support spaces on the ground floor below. At the far end of this key space, an open stair affords a panoramic view of the hillside and the valley beyond as one descends to the lower level. With direct access to the exterior, the lower lobby serves as a trailhead for walking trails that meander through the wooded landscape just outside. Just off of the lobby is a large dining room, where corners are not at familiar right angles, walls not quite parallel. At the far end there is a large commercial kitchen equipped to prepare 3 meals a day for up to 300 guests, and a beverage bar which also borders the circulation path. Broad exterior views introduce natural light into this space, while stepped LED lighting is ordered in long lines over the dining area, and a zigzag arrangement defines the circulation path around the classrooms. A retractable projection system allows the dining hall to also be used for movies and presentations. The circulation path continues around the perimeter of classrooms, defined by the zigzag lighting and flooded with natural light from punched openings. Recesses along the classroom block provide breakout areas for collaboration, with dramatic colors emphasizing the subtractive forms. The large classrooms feature high STC-rated operable partitions that can subdivide into 3, 4, or 6 smaller teaching spaces, each with dedicated entrances and amenities. Wired with independent sound and projection systems, these flexible classrooms allow for a variety of teaching techniques. The lecture hall is equipped to entertain over 300, with comfortable step seating and rolling acoustic ceiling waves above. Tuned to accommodate lectures, remote presentations, and live performances, the facility has the infrastructure required for professional recording and broadcasting. The wide stage provides a clear view of performers for every seat in the house, while a large retractable projection system allows for the viewing of movies and presentations. A control room houses the sound and lighting controls, cameras, and recording equipment, and a VIP green room is situated backstage. A lounge outside the lecture hall provides another breakout area ideal for small gatherings. With broad views to the wooded exterior, this deep dynamic space is illuminated by circular LED lighting interspersed with triangular green leaf acoustic panels floating overhead. An ADA ramp and stair provide access to the lounge, serving as a link between the lecture hall and the lower lobby, with access to public restrooms, elevator, and stair to the main floor. Cluster seating provides flexible small group collaboration, and a serving bar dispenses beverages and snacks. The reception lobby in the lodge provides additional space for waiting and socializing, as well as areas for small groups to meet and collaborate. The lodge accommodations include 42 sleeping units, a VIP suite, a cafe and gift shop, guest laundry, and other support services. The Lodge Cafe is a good place to catch a quick meal or have a cup of coffee while checking emails or chatting with friends. Like the rest of the facility, wireless access points are plentiful, providing a strong Wi-Fi signal to every room in the building, as well as to areas outside. The sleeping rooms are comfortable and tastefully furnished, each one with a beautiful view of the natural environment outside. Care was taken to maintain as many trees close to the building as practical to create the experience of being out in the woods.
During this presentation, we'll take you through the historic restoration of a 6-story structure located in downtown Huntington, West Virginia, that formerly was known as the Stone and Thomas Department Store and is the new home of Marshall University's Visual Arts Center. The building was originally constructed in the early 1900s as a 3-story structure with the option to expand to 6 floors, and survived the 1937 flood, which affected most of the downtown area. During urban renewal, most of the buildings around this structure were slated for demolition and were demolished, and the property sat vacant for many years. In 2006, the development known as Pullman Square was constructed across 3rd Avenue from this building. The structure of the building is masonry exterior bearing walls with wood framing and cast iron interior columns, which creates a lot of opportunities for flexible planning of new spaces, as well as offering high floor to ceiling heights. Most of the interior partitions and finishes had been removed prior to the university purchasing the building. So again, that left the space wide open for new layouts to accommodate the needs of the different art programs. Marshall University's College of Fine Arts consists of fine arts such as drawing and painting, but also printmaking, a textiles program, and photography. The college's sculpture and ceramics programs are housed in another location. The project team consisted of Edward Tucker Architects in Huntington as the lead designers, and consulting engineers focusing on mechanical and electrical systems, structural design, lighting design, as well as acoustical design. Because of the change of use from mercantile to a business occupancy related to higher education, there were significant code upgrades that were required for the building, including installing pressurized stairwells, new elevators, and floor-to-floor separations for fire protection. Also, due to the change in use for the building, a new lateral force resisting system was required to be installed, which consists of concrete foundations in the basement that are supporting steel braced frames that extend all the way from the basement of the building to the roof. This required significant excavation at the basement level to install concrete and reinforcing steel to support the 7-story high steel braced frames, which essentially had to be installed at every level of the building. The floor plan arranged the core elements of the building across from each other and created an interactive flex space on each floor that can be used for display of student work, critiques, and other flexible uses. The entrance to the building incorporates a ramp that allows the entry to be ADA compliant and offset a difference in grade from the street to the first floor, and also incorporates some historical elements of the building into the entry. The first floor gallery space is used to display student work and also includes a small retail space for the sale of student work. The ceilings are very high on the first floor, and every effort was made to create an open and loft-like feel. The classrooms on the front of the building face north and bring in very subtle diffuse light. The windows were replaced with historically accurate and energy efficient aluminum window units,
and the existing wood flooring was refinished throughout the building. This is a view of the printmaking studio, which included structural reinforcement of the center bay of the floor to accommodate some of the heavy printmaking equipment. Each floor has a unique color scheme and graphic design that serves as a wayfinding mechanism throughout the building. This is a view of the interactive flex space that occurs on each level. The photography studio incorporates a full processing darkroom, which allows for manual processing of prints versus just digital, which is actually being used as a recruitment tool for the photography program at the college. The planning of spaces was done carefully to take advantage of creating continuity in both bringing daylight into the center of the building and extending views out to the exterior from the center of the building. A lot of thought was put into what was exposed and what was concealed within the building. The structural brace frames that were added are left exposed within the interior spaces, as well as some of the original brickwork, and this helps to create interest within the spaces. The building really serves as a beacon or even a lantern within the downtown area, and the restoration of the structure that really serves as a keystone for the downtown has been a significant step forward in the revitalization of downtown Huntington.